Hey guys, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to find the z-scores given the area of the distribution that you want to find. So in this problem example here, we have find the z-score cut points for the middle 30% of a distribution. So what it is really asking us is that if this is our normal distribution curve and this is our mean, which is going to be 0, then and if this is our 30% right here, and I just put it in a decimal as 0.30, then we need to find A and B, or those ranges that the 30% of the data lies within. So in this normal distribution curve, we know that the area underneath the curve is going to be equal to 1. So if this right here is going to be that middle 30%, then we need to find the area of the distribution outside that middle 30%. And the only way to do that is to subtract 0.30 from 1. So it's going to be 1 minus 0.30, or that 30%, which is going to equal 0.7. All right, so that's going to be that area outside this middle 30%. And because we found that whole area, we need to know what the area is of like each of these sides right here. We don't want that whole curve. We want to split it in two. So we want to go ahead and divide 0.7 by 2, because what we're really doing is finding this whole area right here, which is going to be 0.35, because 0.7 divided by 2 is 0.35. And then over here, that is also going to be 0.35. So what we really did was that we subtracted that middle 30% by 1 to find how much of that curve was not covered by that middle 30%. And now that we know that each of these sides is 0.35, well, we can use one of our calculator functions. If the area is 0.35, then what is that exact value? So we know the input is the percentage, or that area, and the output is that specific x value. So you should be already thinking that we're going to use inverse norm. And if you don't know what that is, then you can go ahead and watch my other videos explaining calculator functions and what they really mean. So if you have your calculator, go ahead and press second vars, which is going to take you to your distribution tab, and then go ahead and click on number 3, which is going to be inverse norm. It says the area right here, your mu or your mean, sigma or the standard deviation, the tail, and then enter really. So your area that you want to find, let's try to find A right now. The area, this whole area, is going to be 0.35. That's what we found out. So your area, you're going to have to enter 0.35. And then your mean is going to be 0, because it is a normal distribution curve, which means our mean is 0 and our standard deviation is 1. And now for your tail, you want to go ahead and click left, because if this is our mean, we're trying to find that data point to the left of the mean. And really, we're trying to find this data point, and that area is to the left of it. So it's going to be your left tail. And then press enter, and then you will get negative 0.38532 and blah, blah, blah. So you have found out that your A right now is going to be negative 0.3, and then 8 and 5. So let's just do it up to 3 decimal places. So that's going to be your A. So you have found one part of your range, but you need the other. Now, let's go ahead and use that same process that we did to find A to find B. So we know that this area is going to be 0.35. So go ahead and click on second vars once again, and then inverse norm, and our area is still 0.35. Our mean is 0, standard deviation is 1, but in this case, the tail is going to be right, because we are finding data points again to the right of the mean, and this b value, this area is to the right of that b value. So that's why your tail is going to be right. And then click on enter, and you will get, so let's go ahead and write it down. You get 0.385. So once again, and if you really think about it, it makes sense, because if your mean right here is that center line, then whatever distance that you have within, that's going to be the same. So these two lines are the same because it has the equal distance away from that mean. So one is going to be A is going to be negative 0.385, while B is positive 0.385. And you write it as negative 0.35, 0.385, and remember, these are the z-scores that we have found, so don't just write 0.35 because that's that percentage. We want that actual value. So negative 0.385 is less than z, and then is less than 0, and then it's going to be positive 0.3, and then we have 8 and 5. And then go ahead and close off your parentheses. And this is going to be your A value once again, while this is our B value. And if you want, you don't really have to find the B value again. You can just take that inverse of whatever that first value A is. So if you found, let's say, the B value first and you got 0.385, then the other one would be negative 0.385, because remember, it's the same distance away from that mean. So really, these are the ranges for that middle 30% of a distribution. And don't get intimidated by the problem. It's actually really easy once you figure it out. And I hope you guys found the answer, and I hope this helps. Bye, and see you next time.